Since 1954, Lennar has built over 800,000 homes across the United States.
And here in Southwest Florida, Lennar has also been one of the most trusted home builders for decades. Here's why.
Quality, the best materials, and the latest building techniques.
Value, luxury features and upgrades included at no extra charge.
Service, Lennar is consistently ranked tops in customer satisfaction.
Selection, condominium, coach, single family, and estate homes from the 100s to over 800,000. For more info, call today, 877-45-LENNAR.
I'm Jeff Popick of Marco Island Realty. Do you want the inside scoop on the top 10 best buys in real estate? I'm talking about deals so hot, there's no time to print them in the newspaper. Join me for the best buys in homes, condos, commercial property, and even vacant land across all of Southwest Florida. So get ready. More real estate best buys is coming at you right now.
Get ready for Real Estate Best Buys. Buying, selling, building, financing? Real Estate Best Buys brings you the very best buys in local real estate, plus breaking news, market analysis and trends, tips and expert insights, and even a bit of celebrity real estate gossip. Don't touch that dial and don't go away. It's time for Real Estate Best Buys.
You're tuned in to Real Estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick, and we're going to check in now with Dr. David Crow of the National Association of Home Builders. Always good to have David on the show. We're going to talk a little bit about the brand new home sales data that has just been released. David, thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks, Jeff. It's good to be here again.
Yeah, what's the data telling us?
Well, the February new home sales data from the Census Bureau shows a drop from January of not quite 5%. But you have to look at the context. The January number was particularly high. In fact, it was the highest we'd seen since 2008. And so some of that decline is simply a readjustment to what's really a more realistic level of new home sales. Something in the low 400,000s per year is what we've been expecting, and that's what we got in February.
So what would be considered for whatever this means, but a normal market?
Well, a normal market is more like 800,000. So we still are far away from a complete healing in our marketplace, but the fact that we've seen pretty steady progress for about a year gives us some optimism that this will continue, that we are in fact in a full-fledged recovery. We just have a very deep hole to dig ourselves out of. Yeah,
and we've talked a little bit over the weeks, months, whatever the case may be, about some of the challenges that face us in this recovery. I mean, I think by all accounts, we are in a full-fledged recovery, but there's going to be challenges. If there weren't challenges, somebody would need to shake us and wake us up, I think. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Jeff. One of the challenges we're sort of meeting now is that we've had an industry that has been so completely decimated that we got to rebuild it.
Yeah.
And that means from every corner. That means we got to get new home building firms, we got to get more subcontractors, we got to get more labor. Those people that were working in home building found another job somewhere else in order to keep themselves alive.
Yep.
We got to get a lot development going. That process, which can take years in some cases, ceased as there was no particular foresight for any additional home sales. And so now that we are beginning to see the home sales come back, we need that pipeline of lot development to come back.
Yeah, and we really have seen a lot of the infrastructure really disappear.
Right.
I mean, really disappear. We had here in Florida, we had an exodus of contractors that literally were out of work. They had nothing to do, and they went other places. So those people are now, it's not even that they're here needing work. They're just not even here anymore. So, we really have to rebuild almost the entire infrastructure of the building process.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the way it's developing. It's a curious positive, I guess, in that this market is going to build itself back up slowly anyway. We're going to have to rebuild people's confidence. We're going to have to rebuild their ability to pay a down payment and to make a mortgage payment. And those things will take time as the overall economy cures. So in some ways, we have kind of a natural metering device out there to help pace the recovery of the industry. But it will take reattracting a lot of those resources back into home building. We've seen material producers, building material producers, the same problem. They have to reopen plants that they've shut down, and that's not an insignificant problem.
Yeah. And, a lot of this really is something I just would call the new normal. I mean, it's constantly, and I guess it's always been the case in some regard, but this is now just the new set of challenges that face us. And it was interesting. I came across an article just the other day on Yahoo talking about the great senior sell-off could cause the next housing crisis, meaning a bubble that's going to burst, which it really is talking about some of the northern cities, we'll say, but that baby boomer sell-off is going to equal a baby boomer buying boom in other parts of the country because these baby boomers are moving somewhere else. So just another challenge that we're going to have to meet somehow.
No, that's right. A lot of that movement was delayed because, first of all, some of the baby boomers had to continue to work to rebuild their wealth, not only from their home equity, but from their equity, stock equities.
Yep.
And secondly, they may not have had a sufficient amount of equity in their home to be able to sell it. So that has been postponed, and so we'll get a pent-up demand. We'll get some people moving that will add to those in the normal course of events. So you could see a little bit of a pop there as well.
Yep. And I know I have asked you this, and I'll probably keep asking you this, but any improvement on the financing front of things?
Not much. That's been a disappointment that we still have very restrictive mortgage lending requirements, and it really has a lot to do with the fact that the federal government has almost all of the mortgages flowing through its system, either through Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, or VA, and those guidelines have been drawn tighter, and so it's a little harder for people to get a mortgage.
Yep.
I haven't seen that change significantly.
Yep, and it needs to, and hopefully it will at some point in the near future.
Amen.
Yep. David, pleasure to have you. Always good to get your next report, and we'll look forward to the next one. Thanks for coming on.
Great, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Folks, you're listening to Real Estate Best Buys. Check out NAHB.org.
Since 1954, Lennar has built over 800,000 homes across the United States.
And here in Southwest Florida, Lennar has also been one of the most trusted home builders for decades. Here's why.
Quality, the best materials, and the latest building techniques.
Value, luxury features and upgrades included at no extra charge.
Service, Lennar is consistently ranked tops in customer satisfaction.
Selection, condominium, coach, single family and estate homes from the 100s to over 800,000. For more info, call today, 877-45-Lennar.
Hi folks, Jeff Popick here. I'm not only the host of Real Estate Best Buys, I'm a real estate investor, a licensed realtor, and a certified general contractor. I know what constitutes a Best Buy, and Lennar Homes is it. If you'd like more information on a brand new, value-packed Lennar home, call 877-54-Lennar. And as with anything you hear about on the show, you can send an email to 411@realestatebestbuys.com. Need a Best Buy on insurance? Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is the fast, no-nonsense way to obtain quotes on all your Florida insurance needs. Home, flood, auto, condo, boat, life, business, and more. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage serves people throughout the entire state of Florida and shops through over 400 top-rated carriers to get you the very best buy for all your insurance needs. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is locally operated with decades of experience in getting customers the very best insurance value. The people at Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage are the go-to experts at Florida wind mitigation, maximizing your discounts for the lowest premiums. Get a free quote by calling right now, 239-233-8264. That's 239-233-8264.
Of course you're going to enjoy that free bottle of champagne that Aries Title gives to our real estate investor clients with every closing. But Aries Title doesn't stop there. You'll really enjoy the substantial discounts off closing fees Aries Title offers to our investor clients. Aries Title enjoys working with Southwest Florida real estate investors who help make this such a great place to buy, invest, rent, and sell. The staff and attorneys at Aries Title provide investors with insightful strategies and smooth closings. Aries helps with smart strategies like purchasing property in land trusts and LLCs. Aries Title offers leading-edge expertise in short sale transactions and courthouse foreclosure purchases. Aries Title is Southwest Florida's #1 choice and Real Estate Best Buy's recommendation for expertise in real estate closings, title work, and ownership strategies. To find out how to get your substantial discount and your free bottle of champagne, call Aries Title at 239-530-7111. That's 239-530-7111.
Learn the secrets to getting it sold with Real Estate Best Buys.
You're tuned in to Real Estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick.
And Sandy Pastor. Good morning.
And let's check in with our own legal eagle, attorney Mark Shapiro. We're going to talk a little bit about asset protection, and, timing is everything. So, Mark, welcome to the show, and tell us, when is a good time to start thinking about asset protection?
Well, thank you, but let me ask you a question to start off.
Uh-oh.
What's more valuable, a dollar earned or a dollar saved?
That's a good question. I guess for every dollar you save, you don't have to earn it again.
And that's almost like $2, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of a trick question. They're equal. They spend just the same, yet most people only focus on earning money, but not on saving money. Now, if you were going to build $1 million house, you wouldn't just build a house on a piece of dirt ground without putting a foundation down, and then when the $1 million property started to sink, just spend money and throw money into kind of propping it up and fixing it. What you should do is make sure there's a proper foundation. And asset protection is kind of like that. If you're going to go into real estate business, buying business, which many of my clients do, or any business for that matter, the most important thing to start out with is to start out with a proper foundation. That way you can grow the business and build it up without the fear of, losing everything to frivolous lawsuits and things of that nature. So really, asset protection needs to be done before you really need it. And that's a tough concept to grasp, because most of my clients come in after a lawsuit has been filed against them, and then they ask me, what can I do to protect my assets? Or sometimes even after a judgment has been entered against them. And many times it's too late, or I can sometimes help them, but their options are limited. So really, asset protection has to be really thought about before you need it. And, a lot of people just don't kind of grasp that concept. They're kind of like, come to an attorney before it's too late. With asset protection, the ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure is really means something. I mean, it's really true, that adage.
It's a good point. Unfortunately, sometimes I think human nature is we just, we take the path of least resistance. And so if we don't have to do something, we generally don't. But we really do have to have a plan in place maybe before we're out there buying our $1 million properties. Good point.
Yes. And with all the lawsuits out there and being an attorney, I could give you some examples. I know one client that had a person that was doing the repair on the property, and he had a scare because one of the neighbors accused of one of the guys that was doing some repairs on the property of trying to assault them. And he's thinking, oh, my God, I don't have insurance. I have this guy I hired to do repairs, and now as the owner of the property, I'm potentially faced with a lawsuit of, having one of my workers assaulting the neighbors. So, you never know what can happen, and that's the point. Most people don't expect to fail. They don't expect to have these lawsuits, and everyone goes into business thinking positive, and that's the proper way to do it. But we can't stick our heads in the sand either. We have to come to a realization that we live in a country, and as the economy gets more tough, there's actually more lawsuits prevalent. I'll give you another example, and some of you hearing this radio show may have heard this, because it's actually a true example where someone that owned an empty lot in Lehigh Acres was sued because he let his vegetation grow too high, and one of the neighbors, unfortunately, someone broke into their house and actually raped the woman. And the theory that the lawyer brought against this owner of an empty lot was that because you let your vegetation grow too high on the lot, that gave this person that broke in a safe haven to kind of hide out and stalk the property. Now, you may say what you want. Some people might say, well, that's a good theory. Some people might say it's not. But the bottom line is, when someone knows that you have assets in your own name and they're exposed, you're kind of a target to these lawsuits. When I call a nuisance lawsuit, what I mean by that is a lawsuit that maybe has little chance of winning, but would cost you more to fight than it would to settle. A proper asset protection plan can limit those types of lawsuits.
Yeah. Wow.
That's amazing. But it's true. I mean, it happens all the time. It's, there's situations I know that, in purchasing a property, especially a high-end property, so many times people that are purchasing with cash, I'm involved in a situation right now that this is a multi-unit villa, and you've got one buyer that's already closed and they close cash. There's another buyer that's trying to get financing and is having a little bit of an issue just because the builder doesn't have insurance. Go figure. But, and the reality is that, that poor buyer that purchased that property unknowingly with cash, not knowing that the developer did not have insurance, I would suspect they could be liable on several different fronts.
Yep. Crazy stuff. Mark, thanks for coming on today. Asset protection is extremely important. Folks, if you want to check out Mark's website, I can tell you firsthand he is a master at many things, including asset protection. It's attorneyshapiro.com. Check out his website at attorneyshapiro.com. Hope for the best and plan for the worst.
And get good advice.
Absolutely. You're tuned to Real Estate Best Buys. Need a Best Buy on insurance? Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is the fast, no-nonsense way to obtain quotes on all your Florida insurance needs. Home, flood, auto, condo, boat, life, business, and more. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage serves people throughout the entire state of Florida and shops through over 400 top-rated carriers to get you the very best buy for all your insurance needs. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is locally operated with decades of experience in getting customers the very best insurance value. The people at Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage are the go-to experts at Florida wind mitigation, maximizing your discounts for the lowest premiums. Get a free quote by calling right now, 239-233-8264. That's 239-233-8264.
There's a wise old saying, you cannot build a solid structure on a shaky foundation. Nowhere is this truer than when it comes to the construction of your next house or commercial building. Often overlooked, concrete is one of the most important parts of the building process, so be sure to call the best in concrete construction. General Concrete Corporation. General Concrete builds slabs that are level, walls that are plumb, and buildings that are square. This will save you time, money, and headaches now and well into the future. Call General Concrete at 239-571-1100. for a free quote on any size job. New homes or commercial buildings, remodels, additions, even patios and sidewalks. General Concrete gets it done right the first time. Call General Concrete now at 239-571-1100. That's 239-571-1100.
Of course you're going to enjoy that free bottle of champagne that Aries Title gives to our real estate investor clients with every closing. But Aries Title doesn't stop there. You'll really enjoy the substantial discounts off closing fees Aries Title offers to our investor clients. Aries Title enjoys working with Southwest Florida real estate investors who help make this such a great place to buy, invest, rent, and sell. The staff and attorneys at Aries Title provide investors with insightful strategies and smooth closings. Aries helps with smart strategies like purchasing property in land trusts and LLCs. Aries Title offers leading-edge expertise in short sale transactions and courthouse foreclosure purchases. Aries Title is Southwest Florida's #1 choice and Real Estate Best Buy's recommendation for expertise in real estate closings, title work, and ownership strategies. To find out how to get your substantial discount and your free bottle of champagne, call Aries Title at 239-530-7111. That's 239-530-7111.
Thinking about building? Check in with the Craftsman right now on Real Estate Best Buys.
You're tuned in to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for real estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick of Marco Island Realty.
I'm Jeff Tamburello of Steelbridge Realty.
And Sandy Pastor, Prudential Florida Realty.
And Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem.
I've got to talk about a woulda, coulda, shoulda, a property that you should have bought. The problem is it's a tip lot and neither of you have coffee.
How did that happen?
That's a problem. So this property I've talked about on the air, 887 Rose Court, a tip lot, seconds to open water for $209,000. That one is now sold. You want to duplicate that somewhere on the island, you're at $450,000. This was just the absolute bomb of an opportunity, and it's gone. Tip lot on Rose Court, $209,000. Crazy. So that one is now gone. I guess if we want to see an opportunity like this again, we have to wait, 9 years, 12 years? Is that what we're looking at cycle-wise? Something like that.
Yeah.
Where somebody has a major senior moment. And
that's right. Absolutely.
There's always deals. You just got to have the time and treasure to go find them.
Well, of course.
But Jeff told us about this one, right?
I told you about this one, and I was kind of surprised that it took longer than it did. But, oh well, it's gone.
Well, I've got one that didn't take longer than it did. This is one I talked about, I think, last week, or at the worst, least week before that. This is the quadruplex in Golden Gate City that was on the market for $135,000. That has
quad for $135,000.
This is a quad that is fully rented, has been fully rented. Great cash flow. We talked about this. It's on central water and sewer, has a new roof. It's concrete block. I mean,
that's
all that one would want. And I think this was last week, maybe the week before, but this is now gone. It is pending.
When did that come on the market?
This came on the market actually.
Kind of mad at myself.
Like a month ago.
Wow.
And we talked about it, last week or week before, and it's now off the market.
It's now gone.
Yeah, this is definitely an investor woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
So
I mean, virtually any time multifamily comes on now, I think it's woulda, coulda, shoulda in the making because they're trading so much cheaper.
I think the next one's like $400,000. It's the same scenario.
Yeah,
I looked
you still
at it
have
this
to
morning.
overlay price versus value over it.
Stop.
You do.
No, you get into that. Oh my God, there's one, and then you put it in the A-pod. I just seen one the other day that was 3% a year cash on cash.
Wow,
that's not a great return for all that brain damage.
Yep. All right, Tamburello. So
I was rolling through closed sales and found this, and I can't believe I did not see it when it was active. This was a short sale. It's a 2-2 townhome in Bokeely on Pine Island, built in 2005, 1,148 square feet. For $42,500, this thing traded for. I mean, wow. This was a pretty good, needed some minor repairs, needed some of this, some of that. It's the Osprey Landing condos, small little condo complex, but literally $42,500 for an 2005 built townhome on Pine Island.
That's crazy.
How did I not see this is beyond me. But.
Yeah, unreal. But they keep coming. I mean, there are, the Best Buys that get sold, and suddenly they're the woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's what we're in. And it was interesting. I saw online on Yahoo an article called "The Great Senior Sell-Off Could Cause the Next Housing Crisis." But that spells opportunity for us because the sell-off is really in the northern cities. And these people are going somewhere, and a lot of them are heading to Florida. So the sell-off in some places is the buying boom again for us, certainly in South Florida, I think. And we're seeing that.
I sat with a couple last night from Western New York that are down here snowbirding. And I can tell you one thing, that the whole family, because both multi-generations were there for spring break, is the new gun law in New York doesn't have them really excited to live in New York anymore. You know what I mean? And just a lot of little things of the taxes to this, to that, to this. At some point, you're going to just see a mass exodus of anybody with capital. I mean, look at Cyprus. If that was not a shot across the bow of having your money in the bank and not in a hard asset, nothing was.
Yep. So it's an interesting time. We're going to see really quite a thinning out up north. Maybe we should go up north and buy some property.
Actually, everybody with Treasure is leaving, going to leave up north. It's going to kind of leave a dearth to middle management. Who are they going to hire?
Yeah.
Well, then the companies just have to move here. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I was at a Cape Coral function, the Civic, which is this wonderful political organization they have that they express all kinds of opinions in all kinds of directions. And the one lady wanted to know when Apple was moving to Cape Coral, and I felt like going, well, when you look out the window and you see a purple pig flying past, Apple's going to start making iPhones in the Northwest Cape.
Yeah.
You
never know.
It'd be cool if they did, but we're just not dialed up. Our median age is too high for like a manufacturing base.
Yeah. All right, folks, you're tuned in to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for real estate Best Buys. Coming up is the top 10 Best Buys across all of Southwest Florida. If you're looking to buy, don't go anywhere. The top 10 are coming up right now.
Of course, you're going to enjoy that free bottle of champagne that Aries Title gives to our real estate investor clients with every closing. But Aries Title doesn't stop there. You'll really enjoy the substantial discounts off closing fees Aries Title offers to our investor clients. Aries Title enjoys working with Southwest Florida real estate investors who help make this such a great place to buy, invest, rent, and sell. The staff and attorneys at Aries Title provide investors with insightful strategies and smooth closings. Aries helps with smart strategies like purchasing property in land trusts and LLCs. Aries Title offers leading-edge expertise in short sale transactions and courthouse foreclosure purchases. Aries Title is Southwest Florida's #1 choice and Real Estate Best Buys recommendation for expertise in real estate closings, title work, and ownership strategies. To find out how to get your substantial discount and your free bottle of champagne, call Aries Title at 239-530-7111. That's 239-530-7111.
Need a Best Buy on insurance? Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is the fast, no-nonsense way to obtain quotes on all your Florida insurance needs. Home, flood, auto, condo, boat, life, business, and more. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage serves people throughout the entire state of Florida and shops through over 400 top-rated carriers to get you the very best buy for all your insurance needs. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is locally operated with decades of experience in getting customers the very best insurance value. The people at Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage are the go-to experts at Florida wind mitigation, maximizing your discounts for the lowest premiums. Get a free quote by calling right now, 239-233-8264. That's 239-233-8264.
Investor alert! It's Real Estate Best Buys.
We here at Real Estate Best Buys have absolutely ascertained that Fiddler's Creek is a superlative gated community in Naples. Great location, and it is truly like pulling into a resort. And now, thanks to Lennar Homes, we can go one better. Runaway Bay inside of Fiddler's Creek is like an oasis within the resort. I've got Matt Devereaux on today to talk about Runaway Bay. Thanks, Matt, for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having us.
So let's talk a little bit about Runaway Bay. What you guys are developing Runaway Bay, Lennar Homes, that is. Tell us a little bit about the little community there.
Well, Jeff, it's one of, if not the best piece of property in all of Fiddler's Creek, which is just it's a huge community. And we were lucky enough to get the 98 estate lots on Runaway Bay, designed a whole new product type just for that community. To appeal to a high-end luxury buyer, and really the results that we've seen so far have just been outstanding. I mean, the impressions that our customers get and the value that they get for the home that they're buying, I mean, it's really unparalleled.
It truly is. I mean, when you turn down that road that cuts right through Runaway Bay, on one side are homes that or home sites even that sit directly on the creek, so people can even get little boats, little paddle boats, whatever the case may be. And then on the other side, lake views, golf course views. It's really quite an amazing spot within the massive community of fiddlers.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, to be able to buy for under $1 million in a location like Fiddler's Creek and the homes that we're offering, and to sit on a natural creek where you can have an electric boat and you can go out and fish and really live the Florida lifestyle. It's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. So you've got, 4 model homes, 4 different kinds of models going up in Runaway Bay?
Yeah, we have 4 different floor plans, anywhere from 2,800 square feet to just under 37, all appointed with the best of everything from, the high-end wood cabinets and granite countertops and marble flooring and, everything that somebody wants in that level of product we've got it there to offer to them.
And it really is amazing. I have a brochure of sorts from Lennar Homes, and it talks about the Runaway Bay features of these homes. And, sometimes, a builder will hand a customer a lot of fine print. This is almost the size of fine print, but it's all the features. And I guess it's fine print because it would take a phone book to fill it up if this were a larger size print. It's just incredible, the list of features in these homes. Do you want to talk about some of the more notable features that people get when these homes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of our homes have 12-foot ceilings with tray ceilings, crown molding, obviously included, the profile appliances, stainless steel front-load washers and dryers, 20-inch tile floors on the diagonal, rounded corner bead, hurricane glass windows, 612 pitch roof. I mean, we don't want somebody to come in and then find out that they're going to have to spend another $300,000 at the design studio. We want them to come in, understand what the price is the day they walk in and the day they walk out, so they really get a feel for what they're going to spend and the value that they're going to get inside Fiddler's Creek. So that's been our marketing platform. It's worked well. Customers, really feel the ease of the process of buying a home. I mean, it can be stressful, and so we want to try to make it as enjoyable as possible.
And I'm a fan. I've talked about it a lot. Everything's included essentially, and it's just a great value-packed product that just cannot be replicated. It's really amazing. So, Matt, I'm sure we're going to talk about it some more, but I want to thank you for coming on today. If people want to see one of these properties, how do they do that?
Well, Jeff, just come to the information center at Fiddler's Creek. They'll give you a pass to get through the gate. We're the first model center on the right. We just won the Best in Class award with Collier Builders Industry Parade of Homes. Come see our models. They'll really knock your socks off.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. As usual, good talking to you.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're listening to Real Estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popek. Welcome back. You're tuned to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for real estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popek of Marco Island Realty.
I'm Jeff Tamburello of Steelbridge Realty.
And Sandy Pasteur of Prudential Florida Realty.
And let's get into it. We're going to have time a lot trying to get through the top 10 Best Buys. So let's try to get to these. Who's up?
I'll be up.
All right.
Gladly
Ladies
be up.
first.
Ladies first. All right. This is the Best Buy for sure in Tiburon, which is a fabulous community. Ritz-Carlton on the property, beautiful homes and condos. This is a turnkey opportunity at $399,000. It's a 2-2, almost 1,500 square feet. Absolutely gorgeous golf course view. This is the Best Buy in Tiburon, and for all of you golfers out there, you are familiar with the Shark Shootout that is entering its 24th year at Tiburon, and they just recently concluded a negotiation with the CME Group title holders to bring for the third year the LPGA Tour there. So this one's got a $2 million purse. Both of these are one's in November and one's in December, so plenty of time to get settled, get in, get a great home here to spend a little time in Naples or a lot of time in Naples, whichever you want. These are also great rental properties for those that have the golf membership and want to recoup some of their investment. Great opportunity here. So anyway, if you're interested in this, that is in the Ventana section of Tiburon at $399,000. As I said, it is turnkey, so give me a call to take a look at 239-595-0714.
All right, Tamburello.
I've got this is a pretty amazing buy. I had to double check it and make sure there's still a house there. Seriously, sometimes you'll see where the house burnt down and they're selling the lot, but it still shows up. But 18470 Knoll Road in North Fort Myers, kind of a country area, close to I-75. There's shopping and dining nearby. $87,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,458 square foot home on 2.5 acres. You can grow a lot of tomatoes on 2.5 acres.
A lot of tomatoes. And mangoes. Mango Mania is coming up, isn't it, pretty soon? Not too far off.
A little ways. One of these days we'll do a remote for Mango Mania.
We should.
You,
that'd
Jeff.
be good.
We should. I mean, I'm noticing a lot of the mango trees on Marco are, bearing fruit. Not quite there yet, but...
Florida is one of the weirdest places. We have so much food that rots on the ground. Everybody's citrus tree in their backyard that you just... don't have time to do anything with.
When my parents moved here in the 70s, I just have to tell you, this was funny. Speaking of that, they had a banana tree and they had a starfruit tree. And starfruits are expensive up north. I remember I used to cringe at, $1 a piece or $1.50 a piece when I were coming down here, and we'd throw them in the canals because they were so plentiful. But you're right. It's unreal. We don't know how fortunate we are sometimes.
If you have a starfruit tree, call me. I'll be happy to come by and pick them up.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm that guy, too. I have friends that bring
they're fabulous. I wish we had one now, believe me.
Yeah.
Don't think quite appreciated them as much as I should have.
I've heard they make a starfruit wine. I'm thinking that would be a wonderful hangover.
I make juice from starfruit.
And martinis,
and
too.
Awesome.
Really?
It's like a cross between, when you're eating a fruit, not so much, but when you juice it, it tastes like a cross between grape and apple and a little bit of citrus. And it's just amazing. Just absolutely incredible.
Sounds like a martini to me.
There you go.
But if you'd like more information on this property, you can give us a call at Steelbridge Realty at 239-694-3300. We also would be available for your juicing questions. We will attempt to muddle through them
or your
for
martini questions.
Starfruit and mangoes, if you need them picked out of your tree, just give us a call.
That's right.
We'll be right over. All right, I've got the Best Buy on Marco Island. This is 1236 Laurel Court. This has a river view. Home features 3 bedrooms, 2 remodeled bathrooms, a large free-form pool, new tile floors, a refinished kitchen cabinets, and a pool deck. $559,000. This is direct access, seconds to the river. You actually get a view of the river. This is a real estate Best Buy. And not only that, but it's now a Bestest Buy because this property, if you call this week, is eligible for a $5,000 rebate. That's a real estate Best Buy's exclusive. It is eligible for a $5,000 rebate at closing. So give me a call, 239-450-3000. And we need to take a break, but catch us on the web at 411 at realestatebestbuys.com. That's 411 at realestatebestbuys.com. We'll be back with some more Best Buys. Stay tuned.
Of course, you're going to enjoy that free bottle of champagne that Aries Title gives to our real estate investor clients with every closing. But Aries Title doesn't stop there. You'll really enjoy the substantial discounts off closing fees Aries Title offers to our investor clients. Aries Title enjoys working with Southwest Florida real estate investors who help make this such a great place to buy, invest, rent, and sell. The staff and attorneys at Aries Title provide investors with insightful strategies and smooth closings. Aries helps with smart strategies like purchasing property in land trusts and LLCs. Aries Title offers leading-edge expertise in short sale transactions and courthouse foreclosure purchases. Aries Title is Southwest Florida's #1 choice and Real Estate Best Buy's recommendation for expertise in real estate closings, title work, and ownership strategies. To find out how to get your substantial discount and your free bottle of champagne, call Aries Title at 239-530-7111. That's 239-530-7111.
Need a Best Buy on insurance? Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is the fast, no-nonsense way to obtain quotes on all your Florida insurance needs. Home, flood, auto, condo, boat, life, business, and more. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage serves people throughout the entire state of Florida and shops through over 400 top-rated carriers to get you the very best buy for all your insurance needs. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is locally operated with decades of experience in getting customers the very best insurance value. The people at Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage are the go-to experts at Florida wind mitigation, maximizing your discounts for the lowest premiums. Get a free quote by calling right now, 239-233-8264. That's 239-233-8264.
There's a wise old saying, you cannot build a solid structure on a shaky foundation. Nowhere is this truer than when it comes to the construction of your next house or commercial building. Often overlooked, concrete is one of the most important parts of the building process, so be sure to call the best in concrete construction. General Concrete Corporation. General Concrete builds slabs that are level, walls that are plumb, and buildings that are square. This will save you time, money, and headaches now and well into the future. Call General Concrete at 239-571-1100. for a free quote on any size job. New homes or commercial buildings, remodels, additions, even patios and sidewalks. General Concrete gets it done right the first time. Call General Concrete now at 239-571-1100. That's 239-571-1100.
Want some real estate tips and pointers? Listen up. It's Real Estate Best Buys.
Welcome back, folks. You're tuned in to Real Estate Best Buys. We say it all the time, the place for real estate best buys. Let's talk some more about the Real Estate Best Buys Top 10. Sandy.
This is a great buy in Marbella Lakes. Certainly the best buy for a single-family home. This is a 2+ den, 2.5 bath, over 2,300 square foot home. Built in 2010. It's now on the market for $429,000, which is $185 a square. GL Homes built this community and has now moved on to Riverstone off of Immokalee. They build a good product. This is a beautiful open floor plan, bright and sunny home, gorgeous ceilings. Architectural design is wonderful. Only $263 a month for the HOA fees. Nice amenities here. Fabulous location off of Livingston in Marbella Lakes. If this is something that you're interested in for a single-family home, give me a call at 239-595-0714.
All right, Tumbarella, give us a top 10 Best Buy.
13560 Cherry Tree Lane in Fort Myers. It's in Colony Point. $219,900 for a 2,500 square foot 2-story home built in '93 in a gated community, a deed restricted community actually. That's $87 a square foot for a pretty nice home right off the Daniels corridor. If you'd like more information, you give us a call at Steelbridge Realty at 239. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. I forgot to mention that. But if you'd like more information, you can give us a call at Steelbridge Realty at 239-694-3300.
Okay, I've got new to market, relatively speaking, 336 Waterleaf Court on Marco. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a den or a 4th bedroom. House was built in 2001, features 2,235 square feet, and really at a great spot on Waterleaf Court. This is indirect access. Built, like I said, in 2001 on an 80 by 110 lot. Does have a pool and U-shaped boat dock and lift. This property is a Best Buy at $685, and it's a bestest buy because you buy this property this week and it's eligible for a $6,000 rebate. That's a $6,000 rebate at closing, cash in your pocket. If you'd like to see it or get more information, give me a call at 239-450-3000. Sandy.
You know, and these best buys, I'll tell you, I just wanted to mention something. I looked up of the about 70 foreclosures that have closed in the Naples market this month so far. 44 of those were just a couple $1,000s under the asking price, and 21 of those actually closed over the asking price. Wow. That's what we're seeing happening. So when we talk about Best Buys, whether they're a foreclosure, short sale, or a regular sale. That's what's happening in these markets now. So it's amazing. One of the best buys now, which is interesting, is in the Cherry Oak section of Fiddler's Creek. This is an area that had a lot of foreclosures. This one is a condo over 3,000 square feet, and these things are spectacular. Built in 2005. This one's now listed at $455,000. It is the best buy in this area. These were trading in the threes. I mean, these were trading in the threes a year or two ago. I've sold several of these, have listed several, and that's what's happening. So the best buys now, I mean, we say every week it changes and every month it changes, and it certainly does.
Yep.
This one is gorgeous. It has the golf course, lake, and water view, 2-car garage, absolutely beautiful, bright and open floor plan. Long, large lanai. This is a spectacular area. In fact, you can tell that from the under air square footage is, like I said, a little over 3,000. Total area is almost 3,800. So you're talking about a nice sized garage, a nice sized lanai on this one too. Beautiful view. So if you're interested, and by the way, this one is also furnished, which is not a bad thing. So
nice
no stopping at the mattress store on your way in from the airport. Good things. So if you're interested in seeing this one, give me a call at 239-595-0714.
All right, Tom Borello.
7133 Shannon Boulevard in Fort Myers. It's a 3-2 older home built in 74, 1,800 square feet. What's awesome about this home is it is basically minutes from the beach. It is off Gladiolus, and it is on the other side of 41 towards the beach off Gladiolus. So it's just in an area that there's not a lot of cheap properties, not cheap, lower price homes in that area. And for $123,900, you can have a whole lot of square footage and be 10 minutes from the beach. So that's a pretty neat buy. Plus, it looks like you could actually probably like pull a boat in a driveway and stuff like that too.
Yep.
If you'd like more information, you give us a call at Steelbridge Realty at 239-694-3300.
So up in Lee County, what are we seeing in terms of inventory? Has it ticked up a little bit?
Ticked up a little bit, but February was the first time in a long time where we sold more homes at a higher price. You know, we had literally had more higher sales counts, higher pricing, and more money moving through the market. That's pretty much the sign right there, and that's where we are. And it's now a question more of what do you sell than who to sell it to.
Right. All right, folks, you're tuned in to Real Estate Best Buys. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned.
Since 1954, Lennar has built over 800,000 homes across the United States.
And here in Southwest Florida, Lennar has also been one of the most trusted home builders for decades. Here's why.
Quality, the best materials, and the latest building techniques.
Value, luxury features and upgrades included at no extra charge.
Service, Lennar is consistently ranked tops in customer satisfaction.
Selection, condominium, coach, single family and estate homes from the 100s to over 800,000. For more info, call today, 877-45-Lennar.
Hi folks, Jeff Popick here. I'm not only the host of Real Estate Best Buys, I'm a real estate investor, a licensed realtor, and a certified general contractor. I know what constitutes a Best Buy, and Lennar Homes is it. If you'd like more information on a brand new, value-packed Lennar home, call 877-54-Lennar. And as with anything you hear about on the show, you can send an email to 411@realestatebestbuys.com.
Of course you're going to enjoy that free bottle of champagne that Aries Title gives to our real estate investor clients with every closing. But Aries Title doesn't stop there. You'll really enjoy the substantial discounts off closing fees Aries Title offers to our investor clients. Aries Title enjoys working with Southwest Florida real estate investors who help make this such a great place to buy, invest, rent, and sell. The staff and attorneys at Aries Title provide investors with insightful strategies and smooth closings. Aries helps with smart strategies like purchasing property in land trusts and LLCs. Aries Title offers leading-edge expertise in short sale transactions and courthouse foreclosure purchases. Aries Title is Southwest Florida's #1 choice and Real Estate Best Buys recommendation for expertise in real estate closings, title work, and ownership strategies. To find out how to get your substantial discount and your free bottle of champagne, call Aries Title at 239-530-7111. That's 239-530-7111.
Need a Best Buy on insurance? Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is the fast, no-nonsense way to obtain quotes on all your Florida insurance needs. Home, flood, auto, condo, boat, life, business, and more. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage serves people throughout the entire state of Florida and shops through over 400 top-rated carriers to get you the very best buy for all your insurance needs. Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage is locally operated with decades of experience in getting customers the very best insurance value. The people at Fort Myers Beach Insurance Brokerage are the go-to experts at Florida wind mitigation, maximizing your discounts for the lowest premiums. Get a free quote by calling right now, 239-233-8264. That's 239-233-8264.
Need a great mortgage? Get the facts on the bottom line. It's Real Estate Best Buys.
Welcome back, folks. You're tuned in to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for real estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick, sitting with Sandy Pastor of Prudential Florida Realty. Let's talk a little bit about, people are thinking about selling. What do they do?
Well, it is officially spring, so a lot of people think about selling right now, and it is a good time to put your house on the market. We talk about that all the time. And there's a couple of things that you might want to think about doing in order to maximize the return on your investment and put your home in the best possible light from a competitive standpoint as well. I actually got these from some information I got from Lowe's, although you can, they're pretty common sense, but you can, get easy fixes pretty much anywhere. Starting with the outside of the house, put a fresh coat of paint on your door, on your mailbox. What they're suggesting is, and I think it's a good idea, is a pop of color, maybe a burgundy or a forest green or something like that. Add a new door knocker to your door. You'd be surprised, a point of interest that catches your eye right when you first walk in. Of course, the most important room in your house is your kitchen. I didn't know this, but that there is a facelift for your counters if you don't have the granite or the marble or pretty things that people look for. There is a granite overlay that you can install, which is a thinner layer of granite. You can install it right over your current countertops.
Interesting.
It's about 25% less expensive than granite, and there's no remodeling issues. You don't have to tear anything up and put something in. This is just an overlay, so it's a very easy fix. If you do have hardwood floors, or fortunate enough to have those, freshen them up with a restorer finish. It acts like a stain or a varnish, and it gives them that, almost new look again and freshens them up. Of course, bathrooms are critical. I mean, anybody that goes in, you don't want to even think about anybody going in there, but you go in. If you have tile on the floor, you can get a $10 tube of grout whitener that is an amazing fix. I've seen this happen in other houses before, and it just makes everything look clean and fresh and new. It's really beautiful. It acts almost like a toothpaste. And if you have those Hollywood lights, as we've all seen in many homes, update a little new lighting. Take those things down. Those really age a house for sure. And actually, I had a customer that did this whose house just sold or went under contract. They have a huge, large mirror over their sinks, their double sinks. And they didn't take it down and put in, updated mirrors. What they did was they went to the store and they cut out, they had wood cut out and they made a frame. And so for the wood and the stain and the paste, for about $40, they've got a beautiful framed mirror, and it looks brand new and it looks updated. So just a few tips, a few ideas for a little bit of money. It could make a big difference in the price of your home.
And a huge difference for the amount of money we're talking about. I mean, that's just pennies, and it really just
I mean, the
$10
for the grout and $40 for the mirror, and the granite overlay even is going to be a little bit more expensive. But doing it that way, you don't have the wear and tear on your kitchen or the mess that you got to live in, and it's about, from what I'm told, about 25% less than what granite will cost.
Good words. So, Sandy, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they do it?
You can call me on my cell at 239-595-0714, or my personal website is Sandy at sandypastor.com.
All righty. Folks, you're tuned to Real Estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick.
Tune in every week for more Real Estate Best Buys. Also, you can make money, save time, minimize effort, and avoid some pain by logging in with our team of experts at realestatebestbuys.com. That's realestatebestbuys.com. Until next time, may all your buys be Real Estate Best Buys.